Robert Souza here with Milestone Mortgage Solutions, talking to Valerie from V Tridenti Consulting.
Yes.
Valerie, tell me about your business.
So I am able to help people who have problems with their credit. So if they're looking to buy a home or finance a car or really make any life major decisions and they need credit. So if they need to restore, build their credit, I'm able to assess what they need and help them along with that.
Got it. I don't know of very many things people can do that doesn't require credit nowadays.
Facts.
Like,
I mean, even getting a phone, right? If you don't have good credit, you have to put a down payment on. So when you think about it, really, like anything major that you have to do, you really do need that score.
you do, yeah. And it's like, I think about, the phone's a good one, because I think about when I was younger, I say younger, probably like 19, 20. Like
Yes.
I ran into like credit ruins at that age. I left, I was living on my own, and I was living outside my means, and this was like 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
And you know what the economy was like at that point. I got laid off.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't even know I could collect at that point. And
Yes.
I could have. And
Yes.
I wish somebody told me that, because I was
Right.
too dumb and naive to know that.
Right.
So like I put everything on my card. And when I was 18, I got my first credit card, and it was at Macy's.
Yes.
And I just went in to buy towels. And they were like, do you want a credit card? I'm like, I'm an adult now. Sure, yeah. Let me sign up. They gave me $3,500.
Wow.
Yeah. And then every time
know.
I got close to it, it was like, well, now it's 4, now it's 5, now it's 7.
Yeah.
And there came a point where I was like, this is not feasible for me to
Right.
pay anymore.
Mm-mm.
And so I didn't.
Mm.
And I didn't. I never did.
Yes.
Still to this day.
Yeah. Right.
So anyways,
Yes.
I remember like trying to get a cell phone plan and like all these things, and like how much it can hurt you. Your credit can really hurt you. And now where I am now, I have like a 780. I never thought that would happen. And it's like, you kind of walk around with like, you like,
Oh, your posture's up.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I go into like, I just recently got a new phone, probably like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, we're going to have to run your credit. I'm like, go for it. Like,
Yeah.
do it. Like,
Yep.
what? No problems here, and you kind of have that confidence.
You
And
have
it's like,
your freedom. You have your buying power.
yeah, so it's so different. So walk me through the process when somebody comes to see you, and like, what does that look like from start to finish?
Okay.
And
Yes.
and what? Because I know there's more than one way somebody, we talked about earlier. They're either building or restoring, and there's a difference.
Or both.
So or both.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah.
like, tell me everything.
Okay, so when somebody does come to me, the first thing I ask them is, what is your ultimate goal? I want to know what they're trying to accomplish, when they're trying to accomplish it. Because if they're trying to accomplish, let's say, getting a home, getting approved for a home in the next 6 months, and their score is like in the 500s, I know that we need to be very aggressive and do as much as we can. They need to do as much as they can to get that score up as fast as possible, right? So that's my first thing. What's their goal? When are they trying to accomplish it? And now I look at, okay, where are you in your credit, right? So is your credit, what's your score, right? Do you have derogatory items on it? That's the first thing I ask, because if you have derogatory items, we definitely need to clean that up. We need to get rid of that. And when I say derogatory items, it literally can be anything. It can be a bankruptcy. It can be collections, charge off, medical bills, student loans if they're negative, and also even child support. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anything that's derogatory, we can dispute to get that deleted, right?
Yep.
So first we look at that. Now, if they do have derogatory items, automatically they need the restoration program. So we're able to dispute all items all at once from all 3 credit bureaus. Now, other companies are disputing one item at a time, one credit bureau at a time. That drags out the process.
Yeah.
But with us, we're able to get the fastest results as possible. Now, we have been in business for over 18 years. We do follow the Fair Credit Reporting Act that was approved by Congress, so everything is legit.
Yep.
We were actually on the Steve Harvey show 4 times, right? So we're good. If he says it's good, it's good. But anyway, so we're able to do that. Now, they have access to their own portal where they can view everything and see everything from start to finish. So they're a very big part of the process. They know that everything that we say we're doing, doing, right? Now, also, part of that program, there's some tools to help them along while we're trying to get those items off to help them build up their score. So do they have high utilization? Because a lot of us are using our credit cards like gift cards, right? So we're maxing them out. And like
That's a good way to put it. Yeah,
and
that's funny.
technically like you can do it,
Yeah.
but it's gonna hurt your score. You got to keep that balance low. It really hurts your score.
It's
so,
like
under 30.
under 30. All right,
Right,
under
yes.
30%. Yeah.
So they used to say 30 and under. Now they're saying even 10. So I say like between 30 and 10% is
Yeah.
like the ultimate. I know it's hard, but at least if
Yeah.
you can get it under 30, you're in a good place.
Yep.
So we work on that. Like we have a tool that can help them pay down their debt faster by just restructuring their payments and stuff like that. So we're able to help them pay down their debt. That will also assist in getting their score up. Now, if they don't have any derogatory items and they need credit, so that happens a lot too. A lot of people are living on cash and they have no credit. They're afraid of cards and credit cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, we do have a secure card where it's 100% approval, no minimum down payment, and there's no fees or anything, but it will build their score if they use it properly, which I will tell them how to use it. It can build their score up 3 times as fast. It can get them in an unsecured card in as little as 4 months.
So for people who don't know, a secured card is you're essentially kind of like prepaying the card, right?
Yes.
But but when you make the payments, it reports.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a MasterCard, but basically you're setting your own credit limit, right? So let's say you say, well, I'll put $100 down. If you put $100 down, I tell them, don't use it over like $30 at a time. Use it, pay it off. Use it, like consistently use it, and then pay it on time. And that is going to show, oh, look, they can use a credit card and be responsible. Oh, they can use a credit card and they can be responsible. They can pay it back. So that's what's building your score.
Got it.
Right.
So this has come up in like my industry before, alternative trade lines. Is that something that is useful with people trying to build credit?
I mean, it can be. We don't really recommend it. I mean, there's other things that you can do. So getting on somebody's, this is another thing, that, like a little trick that you could do is being an authorized user on someone's credit.
Yep.
Right? But then you have to worry about, you have to make sure that they are indeed responsible. Right, and they do indeed have their credit on track, and like usually it's like an older person, right? Like my dad would be the perfect one, because he has the best credit and he's so responsible. He pays his bills. So like doing that, you get the history of all of their credit, right? So doing something like that is really good. You don't even have to use it. Right, so like let's say I had credit and I have good, because age limit is important too. Like old credit is good credit. It's like wine. So let's say that I have really good, my score's up there. I have cards from like 10 years now and they're on time. And I add you on as an authorized user. You're not using my card. You don't have to. You're going to get credit for all of that history, and it's going to bump your score up. So you can do little tricks like that.
That's
but
interesting.
you've got to be careful, right? Because now if they mess up their credit, they're messing
your credit.
Yeah. You're like attached to them. So there's things like that. There's also a program that we have called Credit My Rent, where you can use your rental history. A lot of people are renting, and it's not being reported, right? But if you don't pay and you get evicted, that's reported, right? So it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, but that's the way it works. So you can use your, we have a program for that as well.
Awesome.
That will build your score.
Good stuff. So what's like, and I'm sure like the person's situation will dictate the answer to this question, but like in general, if you had it in general, what is the time frame for somebody who's looking, to get to a better credit rating? Like,
so to be honest, we start seeing results within 45 to 90 days. So I had somebody just recently, he got an 81-point increase in 30 days because he got a bankruptcy removed. Everybody's situation is different, but typically 4 to 6 months for best results.
4 to 6 months.
For best results. But you can start seeing results within 45 to 90 days. It depends how aggressive you're going, right? So if, like, let's say you come to me, you have some derogatory items, and let's say that you no longer have any credit cards, right? A lot of times that happens. If you sign up you start the process of getting these negative items removed, because that's going to give you a boost. As soon as they start coming off, you sign up for the secure card, you start using it properly. Let's say you're renting and you sign up for the Credit My Rent program, you can start getting results really quick. Really quick, right? It depends how aggressive you go. There's also something that I refer to that it's not part of my company or anything. I don't get paid for it at all, but self-loan through self.inc. It's kind of like a savings account, but you're getting credit for it. It's for credit building.
Is that like on the same premises of a secured card?
So it's sort of. So how it works is they have all different amounts. Let's say you say, okay, I would like a $1,000 loan, right? They say, okay, they hold on to the $1,000 and they give you payments every month to make towards that $1,000. Let's say $30 a month or something, right? You pay $30 every month you're paying. It's reporting to the credit bureaus, right?
Wait a minute. So you're paying your own loan? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Right? And so
right.
you're paying it, and it's reporting as a positive trade line. It's boosting your score.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you pay up to $1,000, they release it to you. They give you your $1,000. So that whole time you were it's like, that's why I say it's like a savings account. But savings accounts, it doesn't help your score.
No.
This does. Right? So this is another thing, like when you say trade lines and stuff like that, these are things that you can do, right? And it doesn't really cost you too much money, right? But you can boost your score.
That's good. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Learn something today.
I really need to get really need to call that company, because I send so many people there. I'm like, you can go there, but like it's whatever. Anything I can do to help people, that's what's
it about. Yeah. Totally.
I want to see people get to their goal. So whatever it is that you need, we'll customize it. So like that was a really long answer. I'm sorry, but
no. I'm glad you shared it.
Yeah. So like, what do you need? You need negative items off. Do you need to build your credit? Okay. How aggressive do you want to be? Here's what we can do. Yeah. Let's go.
Hold on, I got another question. I got two more while they're fresh in my head.
Yes.
One, without giving away too many of your trade secrets, what do you do to get rid of derogatory marks on somebody's credit? Because I don't, like, if something's there, I'd imagine it's for a reason. So how do you combat that? Like, how do you get that?
Yes. So, for instance, let's say collections. Every situation is different, but let's say collections. Let's say you have a collection. Let's say you went to Ross Simon's and you charged something, you never paid them back. Yeah. They sold that debt to a third party.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, that third party is coming after you for the debt. Now, if you haven't talked to that third party and you haven't verified that that's your debt or whatever, when we go to dispute it, what happens is the credit bureaus go to the collection agencies and they want to verify that this is your debt. It's very hard to verify it's your debt when you never signed a contract with them. You signed it with Ross Simon's, right? So this is why sometimes it's hard for them to say, oh no, this person does have a debt with us. That's why it's hard to do that, because you signed it with Ross Simon's. Now, if you talk to the collection, that's why when they call you and they harass you, they're trying to get you keep you on the phone just to admit your debt. Like, okay, yes, I do have that debt. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, that is mine, or whatever. So this is why we're able to dispute and get rid of collections. Now, the same thing with medical bills, in a sense, HIPAA laws, right? There's a law that, in the medical field, I don't know if you're aware of it, where they can't give your information out. They can't say, oh, Robert had a procedure on January 1st at this time, and this is the procedure he had, because that's breaching your medical information. They can't do that, right? So when we go to them, to the collection agencies, and we're saying, can you verify that this is his debt? Then they're going to have to go into your medical record. And they can't. So it's all about, this is why we're able to get, now when it comes to student loans, yes, we can get the late payments and all that stuff deleted, but student loans you do have to pay back. I mean, unless you, but we do have a student loan manager program now. So you have, it's through the government, it's awesome, and you basically will fill it out, and if you're trying to get a better payment plan, if you're trying to see if you qualify for forgiveness, we have a manager, we just signed on in January, where people are going and they're helping to get their student loans managed, see if they can get, better payment plans and get some forgiveness out of there. So that's awesome too.
Yeah, that's a great tool.
Yeah.
That's a great tool to have. All right, the second question was, because this is going to be relevant to what I do. So if you have an open dispute and you're trying to get a mortgage, you're in trouble.
You are in trouble, yeah.
So what is the time frame to open and close a dispute, typically?
So I will say some disputes we can get off with, like I said, that guy's bankruptcy got deleted in 30 days. Sometimes it might take like 3 months, right? So it could take about 4 to 6 months. So I know sometimes it's not ideal. Like if they're trying to get a mortgage right now, it's not, we can't really do the disputing, right? So there's other things that we can do. That's where the credit my rent or the self loan can come in handy, or paying down the debt can help, right? And then maybe they would do the disputing after and maybe try to refinance or something like that. But if you say this client is looking to purchase a home within 6 months, we can definitely do that. You know what I mean? We can definitely, try to get it moving now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So usually it's great when when they say a 4 to 6 month time frame.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's do it now. But if you're telling me, oh no, they're in the process or whatever, we can't do that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, let me think. Is there an ideal client that you get? Is most of the people that come to you looking to buy a house? 'Cause I feel like in general, when people think about their credit, for a lot of people who are living paycheck to paycheck, and it's not like their top priority, it becomes a top priority when they're thinking about buying a home. Is that where you mostly meet people, at that crossroad?
It's when they're trying to buy a home, finance a car, even get rent. Some people are coming to me because they're getting denied apartments and they can't even rent.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to get a business up and running, and their personal credit, they need their personal credit to get approved for certain things. Most of the time it's house. Most of the time it's home. And luckily some people will say, well, I want to buy a home sometime this year. I'm like, great, let's start now. This is the problem, that is a lot of people, they wait and they come to me. I just found this house and I really love it, my dream house. I'm like, great, what's your score? 560. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times that's what people do. They wait and they wait. No, if you know that this is something in your plans this year, start now. Get that stuff out of the way. This way you're not in dispute. You're not having a low score. You're able to get a good interest rate. Interest rates, getting a high interest rate, people don't realize how thousands of dollars that they're wasting.
It's a little gross when I look at a fully amortized schedule and you compare 3% to 4%. The bottom line, when you're done paying off that loan, it's a lot of interest that you're paying.
A lot.
You
and I don't know
people,
about you, but I want to give the banks as little of my money as possible.
Oh, yeah.
When I think of thousands of dollars, I think, okay, trips.
So much you could do with it, right?
Right.
So much you could do with it.
Right. So the cost of credit repair is nothing compared to what you have to.
The cost of not doing it.
And that's the thing too. We are very cost effective compared to other companies, and credit repair. A lot of companies make it hard for us.
Yeah.
Because they're terrible, right? And they're expensive and they're terrible, whatever. But that's why I love that we're transparent. You get to see everything. Our process is much different, and our cost is low.
Yeah.
So.
I've had some bad experiences referring somebody to a credit repair. And I didn't really know them. I just needed somebody. Sometimes you just kind of, put out some feelers, and you don't necessarily know how they're going to work, but it's the only person that kind of raised their hand, and they actually put them in a position to dispute stuff and said, okay, their score's up, go get a mortgage. But they were in the the beginning process of a dispute, and so they're looking at it, and it's like, you're not buying a house, man. And it's like, this person wasn't educated enough, and they kind of set you up for failure. And actually, it was a loan officer at the time, because I used to be in real estate. It was a loan officer that I referred this person to, that referred them to this credit person. And even that, they didn't know that you couldn't be in a dispute. So they checked it off. It wasn't, my obligation to know that. At least that's how I felt. And, So anyways, yeah, you can
Yeah,
really go
it's
down.
important. That's why I ask, what's your time frame? What are you looking at? Because you don't want to put them in dispute when they're,
Yeah.
trying to do something right now.
Yeah, something I'll share with you and for everybody else who doesn't know, when we talk about credit and we talk about, getting a mortgage, most people think your credit has to be like, 700, whatever crazy amount it is.
Yeah.
Most programs like 620 and up, you're looking pretty good, like FHA, VA.
Yeah.
You're looking pretty good. I work with some lenders. I'm a broker. I'm not a direct lender. I'm a broker and a lender. I work with some that will help people buy a house all the way down to a 500 credit score.
Wow.
Now some of the stipulations are different, but if that person fits that bill, then
Yeah.
there is an option for people. A lot of people aren't aware that you can
Yes.
do 3.5% down with a 580 credit score. A lot of people don't know that, but it exists.
Yeah.
It's just about knowing the right people, just like
Yes.
anything else.
Right.
So,
Right. That's good.
Last question I got for you. What are some of the struggles that you have in your business?
Some of the struggles that I have is, all right, so one of the struggles that I have is part of the process is, our credit attorneys are when the disputing process, our credit attorneys, they're drafting the letters.
Mm-hmm.
We're having the clients sign them and send them out.
Yeah.
The reason why we have them do it in us is because when it comes from a consumer rather than a third party, by law, the credit bureaus have to honor the letters and they have to respond within 45 days. A lot of companies are not doing that, and this is why the bureaus sometimes if it came from us, they don't even have to open the letters or even look at them. So that process could take a lot longer. This way, we know in 45 days they're going to respond. They're going to look at that letter. They have to. Right?
Yeah.
So some of the problems that I have is people just not doing that. Right? So like me having to chase people down, like, did you send your letters? Did you send your letters?
Oh,
Yeah.
I got what
Yes.
I
So
understand.
that's like one of the things that issues that I get. Also, I guess another issue that I have is people, clients, like they sign up and they're like in a month, they're like, why didn't all this stuff get deleted yet? And it's a process, right? So I do try to explain to them, I can't guarantee when, right? So this is another problem. Other companies out there, like, we can do a credit sweep in 30 days and it's illegal and it's wrong, and it's illegal to say I can get this all deleted in this amount of time. It's illegal to say it because you don't know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess the issue that I have is other companies not being like legit, not being real.
Makes your job all the harder.
Putting it, yes. So then when they come to us, it's like, no, this is the fastest way legally.
Yeah.
Fastest way, like, legally. So I guess that's like my issue.
Got it. Yeah, that makes good sense. I get where you're coming from, and I feel like that's almost in every industry. Like, there's
Yeah.
always somebody out there saying something that maybe isn't a stretch of the truth to the consumer, and it
Yes.
sets the wrong expectations, and then you
Facts,
got to try
yes.
to correct that.
Yes.
And then there's almost with some people like a level of distrust. Like, who do I trust? Like, I heard this. I heard, like, who do I believe? And then
I know. I
you
feel
kind
so
of
bad. I feel bad when people go through that because it is nerve-wracking. Like, I just want my credit fixed so I can go do what I got to do,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
so it's like who to trust. So I
Yeah.
get that. And, of course, you want to trust the person that's giving you these, like, promising results within, like, of course.
Yeah.
We're human beings.
Yeah.
Want, like, fast, right? So I get it.
Yeah. I'm
Right.
sorry. I do have one more question.
No, go ahead.
So tell me something like outside of your business that, something a little bit more personal for people to kind of connect with you about.
Okay, my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a mom. I always go with that because that is my life, right? So I have.
As a dad, I totally get where you're coming
Yes.
from. Yeah.
All right. I'm like, oh, wow, what did I do before I had kids? I don't know. Like, they make my life a life. So I do have a 13 and a 15-year-old boy and a girl. So I'm a very, very busy mom. So when I am not working, I'm literally being a mom, taking them everywhere they need to go, pouring into them. Some personal things about me, my passion is painting. I love to paint. So I love art. I have an eye for art, and that's what I like to do in my free time when I'm not, being a mom or
Got
credit
it.
consultant.
Got it. Oh, that's super cool. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks. Thank you for having me. I feel honored. This is
All right.
great.